Hi there. How about a reading from Metal Dog Tarot for Libra? And also, I have assigned Libra the character Juno in my sci-fi. So let's see what we can learn about you and Juno, your fellow Libra. Looking at the cards, we're going to start with an oracle card. It will give us a sense of where we're going to go, what the question is. It also happens to be the day of the cold moon, the last full moon in 2020. So congratulations. I keep getting this card coming up. We get darkness here. I feel like we're in a time of the unknown of what's going to happen. And a lot of people have looked forward to 2020 ending. It just doesn't make logical sense that switching from 2020 to 2021 will change the trajectory that we're on. And if you look at astrologers, there's predictions about collapse, about change, and then how do we navigate this? You know, it looks like there's a lot of unknown. There's a lot also of maybe rethinking what we mean by darkness and what we associate with darkness, just in terms of thinking about, I don't know, what's good and what's bad. So on the bottom we also have the Hunter Moon and Abundance, this Empress character I see. And you come up in my little random shuffle as the Empress Libra, and that is why you are Juno, our priestess for my science fiction here. Let's see, I'm going to do a reading, a 4-card release, embrace, hidden influences, and future reading, beginning with the good tarot here, which I haven't used in a while. I forgot about it. But this deck wanted to talk today to you, Libra. It picked you, and it wants to talk to you. Okay, my air sign friend, my librarian, my artist, my intuitive friend. Okay, cut the deck. And we'll see what happens. Okay, on the bottom we get the 4 of Earth. Okay, so for our release, we'd like to release the 5 of Earth, which is, yeah, that's a good state to release. It's a state of impoverishment, of lack, of being left out, right? I can see the downcast face of this little person. She's sensitive, her feelings have been hurt. I also see that there's a little bird there on this pentacle that is trying to connect with her. And yeah, the 5 of Earth, or 5 of Pentacles, is very much a card about poverty, of being left out in the cold. And it is a perspective shift. There's always a way back in, and you just have to look around and find that. So to release the feeling of being abandoned and left out, I feel like there is a lot of golden light here for this person to turn around and see behind her. And that's really coming out for me today, this light. So yeah, that's the perspective shift. Look over here. The light symbolically can mean hope, and it's unclear. It's very vague. The light in contrast here to darkness, which is our underlying energy and our question. Okay. Embrace the Queen of Fire. Embrace your passion, embrace drama, embrace beauty and will and creativity. Fire. She's got a candle in her hands, and it is lit up. A symbol in the middle. It looks like a heart. There's also a circle of energy. It looks like a medallion here in her chest. So makes me think of the pentacles in the 5 of earth that we're seeing over here. It's not the same symbol, but those golden circles and that golden light. Hidden influences, the 2 of fire. This is the weary manifester. Really a lot of going into the unknown and needing to follow that golden light here again. The 2 of fire, the 2 of wands is a card where you're beginning a journey. It's early days. 2s are a small number, so you had an idea with an ace of fire and now you're heading out on your journey. It's very often a card about manifesting and envisioning. This person, the magic and the vision are really in the scene of this, the fact that she's riding a giraffe that is lit by this lantern, which is coming up here, this golden light, perhaps as what is leading us through the darkness. You can see there's a glare on this that actually reiterates that golden light. And finally, the future is the Page of Earth, which I love this beautiful, simple, fun beginning. Very earthy, very practical, just has a great new idea, a young energy. And when I first looked at it, I saw peace on earth instead of Page of Earth. And I want to bring that into the reading because this is the card for the future. This is definitely a prediction of young energy. So this 2 of fire is also a young person following this light through the darkness. And so I'm getting a strong vibe in this reading of being a person who is embracing her Queen of Fire self, this leader that she is, the priestess in my story, Juno, but that we can see the young people that she leads, her, and that you're a part of working with young people, perhaps, or that you're a part of a movement that is led by young people towards peace on earth. So I can see that you're being guided by a light that is internal to you, but that is also a part of this younger energy that you're around, that's around you. Right? This that you're leaving behind is this idea of release. This is also a very young person. To me, this seems like the sorrow of your inner child is being called to turn to that light. And when I look at the Queen of Fire, I think of the idea in yoga philosophy of the unstruck place, the heart chakra, and that there's a place in our hearts that has never been wounded. And that when we get into that place in our hearts, that we have access to a will to live, and you'll never give up when you have a hold of that unstruck place in your heart, because that place doesn't remember pain or suffering, and therefore it does not fear it. So I feel like that's what this light is. It is that youthful, innocent, naive of pain, but very powerful place, that unstruck place in us, in you, Libra. But you're a Queen of Fire, and I think even though you're an air sign, which would make you the Queen of Air in this, you're appearing here as the Queen of Fire because you're being caused to remember your heart, your passion, that creative impulse in you, that unrestrained, youthful, undisciplined place in you that takes you forward on this journey towards this utopian future with this magical fairy child. Okay, let's clarify. There's quite a contrast. I see all of this gold in contrast to this darkness. Let's look quickly at what this darkness means. Number 40 here. Just a glance here in the book. You're entering a time of introversion, a leaner time, or a time to turn inward to plan and strategize. It is time to do shadow work, which will bring big dividends later on. Release what no longer works for you. The darkness needs to be there as much as does the light. So here in winter is when we have these long nights. And this is a good time to begin shadow work, undertaking the self-reflection needed to identify what isn't working for us and what might be causing us pain. This could be a bad habit, a destructive pattern, a recurring useless fear, or anything that holds us back from being the best we can be. Once we see these aspects of ourselves in the dark, we can simply decide whether they must go. We can decide to release them once and for all. We get to transform. And I was just reading in the Yoga Yamas about ahimsa, that nonviolence, and that is to look to your darkness, your anger, your secret revenge fantasies, the things that we're not supposed to feel, and to look there with love, without violence. And if we can accept and own that part of ourselves, that darkness, that we can also find there, that answer, that light that is mentioned in that reading, which we see throughout these 4 cards that we've laid out so far. So let's clarify and find out a little bit more about what's going on here with your shadow work and with this light that is showing up here for you. So first of all, your advice is to release the 5 of Earth. That's an excellent advice. Release the idea that you're outside, that you're poor. And just see that golden light behind you. Or that little bird sitting there. That bird is with you. You're not alone. And in fact, if I look closer, I see a little underneath. I see a little fox lying there. I think I see another little butterfly. Big giant butterfly, actually. Yeah. I know I see a fox at the bottom. And I think I see something in this corner too. I love these cards. They have a lot hidden in them. But there is a light behind you that you can turn towards. And that's what the 5 of Earth is saying. So you can release this idea that you are impoverished, abandoned, and left out. What else? The 7 of Wands. This is a card of resistance, of having integrity, having a backbone. You can see all these crocodiles have wands in their backs. So this is about thinking that in order to be indoors, you need to give up your integrity. So that's being advised against. The Star, the card of healing and of wish fulfillment. So you're being asked to release some concept you have of what will bring you complete joy in the world. Okay? And 7 of Swords. Wow. So here's a card of lack of integrity, mistrust. This Panther is very secretive. So it could be a secret that you have. So you get 2 sevens of Wands and Swords. The Star here. And the Star is your fellow air sign Aquarius. Wow. So there's some idea that you have that's costing you your integrity. This is an idea that that you should do certain things. You should give up yourself, perhaps, in order to get your wish fulfilled. So yeah, you're thinking I need to give up my integrity, and I'm going to do it secretively. I got this last time I did a Libra reading, actually. Some sense of secrecy, of a lack of integrity. And this is telling us is that this comes from a story that you have, this Five of Earth story that you're left out, and that you have a vision of what happiness is. And this is, you need to let go of whatever that is. It's not working for you. You should definitely not sacrifice your integrity and be dishonest in order to get that wish fulfilled. Whatever that is, that wish, it needs to be released. Okay. Let's see what you should embrace. This passionate side of yourself, this light in you, this unstruck place, your heart, your passion, your creativity. Libras are known for appreciation of beauty and of art, and I always associate the Queen of Fire with creativity. I can feel this energy pulling away from me right now as I'm doing this. I didn't mean to hurt anybody's feelings there. I don't like it when somebody tells me I have to give up a story or a wish or a concept that has been motivating me. But I'm just telling you that the cards say that your shadow work that you're supposed to be doing right now is going to help you see this, and you'll have an alternative way of living once you face that story and become willing to release it. For me, that story was a story of true love, that my journey in life is about finding some kind of soulmate, and there was a whole story around how that would look. I needed to look at where that story came from in my whole life, and how that story actually allowed me to act without integrity, to feel entitled, to be secretive, dishonest, and also extremely codependent, isolated. All these things came of what was a really beautiful concept of romantic love, an ideal that we see in movies all the time. So what I don't really know what goes into the place where that story was. This reading is trying to tell you to embrace the Queen of Fire. She knows who she is. She definitely has integrity, and she's not boring. She's just as much a passionate romantic as this fantasy, if yours is like mine. So let's find out more about what this embrace may be. Okay. That's so funny. The embrace is what you were told to release. The Five of Pentacles. This is the Five of Earth in this deck. We'll come back to that. That's annoying. Okay. King of Cups. This is an emotional maturity. One cup there. That would be... the King of Cups is emotionally mature, but as in the masculine form, more actually introverted, reserved about talking about their feelings. And we get the Two of Wands, which is the hidden influence here, the Two of Fire. So this Two of Wands here. This embrace. Okay, see, this is the Two of Fire. So you're supposed to embrace this unknown hidden influence, the manifestation here of the Two of Wands. When I look at this Five of Pentacles, right, and the Five of Earth is your release. This is the Five of Earth, and we see here this Five of Pentacles. There's the 5 pentacles hanging in the tree. Those are like 5 cocoons, and from them will hatch butterflies. So they look like cocoons to me. But I also see this little caterpillar hidden here under the stump. And I see a predator here. And this caterpillar waiting to emerge from that stump. Yeah, this caterpillar suggests a transformation, which is always the advice of the Five of Earth. If you're in abandonment and I'm left out in the cold, then you're being told to actually look inside for the key to your own happiness instead of looking outside. And so that little caterpillar in the stump tells me that to look inside. The owl is about wisdom, and you as an air sign, owls will often be associated with air signs and the suit of air or of swords. And then we get this sort of emotional reserve, right? So this idea then is that I'm seeing that you're looking inside for this unstruck place and then protect it. Because the King of Cups finds that place really in the darkness, right? This is you knowing yourself from your shadow work in the darkness. There is a light, this passion, this creativity. There's no lack of that here, but it's just very private right now. Very beautiful, very private, very protected. And then we get you looking out here and this is a lioness, and she's thinking about going out hunting, and she's envisioning her successful hunt. And then the artist here talks about how she's actually thinking about how this guy always gets the lion's share, but she's going to go take that lion's share for herself. That's her fantasy, according to the artist. Here I actually see that little red bird, which appears in this deck. I think it always makes me think of love, of passion, of willpower. Red would be associated with fire, the suit of fire. But it also makes me think of blood, which is associated with air. So I think of the heart and the way that the heart is the place that we associate with love, with passion, with the blood too. And that the air, blood, the sanguine humor pumps through your heart. And so that there is a relationship for you, Libra. And maybe this is a part of your balancing nature, your sense of justice, that there's a passion here in the emotional realm, in this unstruck place in your heart, right? Which this King of Cups has found, is lifting up this cup from the sea. This little hidden caterpillar inside of you, this little promise of a transformation that is in you, even though you're needing to give up this star, this idea of wish fulfillment. And then this emerges here in the manifestation of the lioness as a little red bird, a little idea, a little new vision. And this is in the background, this is influencing you, this is this little light that we see in the next question here of what is hidden from you. This is telling me that there's something in you that's hidden that you need to become aware of. So shadow work means you look right at the thing that you're ashamed of, right? Like that energy that I felt of you pulling away when I accused you of the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Swords, of a lack of integrity and of maybe even being secretive, omitting, even downright dishonest, right? Whatever caused you to go, look right there, look at that. And that is going to show you this little bird, this little beautiful beginning idea of who you are that makes you embrace this beautiful, passionate nature of the Queen of Fire, combining with the King of Cups. This is what the owl wants to tell you in its wisdom. Embrace this. Okay, So we get the Two of Fire. This is the thing you're seeking in your heart. And let's see if we can find out more about this, because it's currently hidden from you. So maybe we can get curious here with the cards and find out a little bit more. I'm still thinking about my character, and I'll probably go back and look at this video and understand this person more. Every time I've done a reading for one of the characters in my sci-fi, I've been amazed at the complexity of the people that come into my story as a result of reading their cards, essentially. Okay, Libra, Two of Fire. What else? An ending and a beginning, the world. So this is definitely a dramatic change in your personal way of going about things, the end of a major cycle in your life. It could be out there in the world, right? So this hidden influence. I've been reading it and sensing it to be like this little red bird, this unstruck place in your heart, right? This little caterpillar, this little possibility that will turn into a beautiful butterfly, which is definitely a transformative process. That the World card is one of the many cards in the tarot, or several cards in the tarot, that tell us something is ending. The other cards would be the Tower, death, or transformation, rebirth. What else? The Five of Cups. So an ending and a beginning here. What else? Six of Pentacles. There's that little bird on her friend, the water buffalo. There's a size difference between these two. There's an age difference, perhaps. There's a difference, right? Between you and the young people that are appearing here in the future, or this little bird and this water buffalo. Yeah, we've seen this bird as this place you're looking for inside of you, this new idea. The Six of Pentacles is about reciprocity, charity, give and take, very 3D material. And we should notice that it follows the Five of Pentacles, which you're releasing. So this shows you really going through a process where you release the feeling of self-pity that is associated with this problematic concept of happiness and wish fulfillment, moving into seeing the key to your happiness is inside of you, and we're seeing this in your heart, and then into a Six of Pentacles, which is a much more comfortable place where you recognize that you're wealthy enough to share with others in a very practical 3D sense. So you're making a good living, you have a sweet little home, you have security, you have abundance. And then we get the Seven of Cups as a part of... Seven of Cups is having lots of choices. You can see this rabbit is looking up into the sky, and there's all these cups up there that the rabbit sees in the stars. So there can be somewhat of a projection in the Seven of Cups, right? We can see a heart, we see a tree, we see a lion, a moon, a key, and that key seems important to that Five of Pentacles that we've been going through. Stars, and then there's the victory laurels, which would be a Six of Wands kind of possibility. So something is changing. Your perspective changes here, or there's change out in the world that is going to cause, there's some kind of change coming in, and I feel like it's unknown. I'm seeing this a lot, like we don't really know what's coming. Look, there's that bunny rabbit looking up at the sky, and this card too, right? So it's the same bunny rabbit looking up at the sky. It's more of a hare here, and the rabbit is associated with the sanguine within the science of humoralism that underlies astrology and the suits of this card. So the rabbit is actually an animal associated with air, your suit. Is this a hidden? This is your manifestation. Or this is a manifestation. Or a new beginning out there. It feels very mysterious to me. I feel like a lot of moon in this, like a lot of unknown, a lot of yet to be revealed here. Balance, projection, choices, possibilities. So the world ends, and then there's all these possibilities, but it looks to be a kind of cross species, across difference, people, different sizes, different ages, different abilities here, able to, everybody has 3 pentacles to bring to the table. So it's a kind of nice recognition of everybody recognizing their individual value and starting out on their journeys, following the light of their own integrity, their own little red bird in their heart, that sense of value, their personal individual value, that they have something to offer. And then envisioning, right? So the Two of Wands is very much about manifesting and envisioning a new world. And that's what I see this rabbit kind of looking up at the stars, looking up at the darkness in this image. And, one wants to think, what is this rabbit seeing? What is this rabbit understanding in looking up at the sort of spread of possibilities and various destinies that could be out there? And there's a sense of the unknown as yet. Now we get the Page of Earth as the future. So if you're feeling uncomfortable with being in where you're at, I can see why, because it's a 5 of Earth. There's a Queen of Fire waiting for you, inside of you, waiting for you to embrace that. But it's also going to set you out on this 2 of Fire new journey with the end of the world as you know it, the end of your cycle that you've been engaged in for probably a very long while. This is happening cosmically, and it's happening locally, perhaps, in your individual life. And to me, it has to do with knowing what you have to offer and also being open to all of the possibilities. And the result we see, and this can change the future, but the result is this really magical, youthful, playful Page of Earth. This makes me think of kind of like a call of the wild, a call of the magical. And you might be this super practical earthling who is, being called by this fairy of Earth to this unknown world that we can see in the background. It's not clear. It's an invitation into the unknown. It looks quite magical and beautiful, and it's very much out in Earth. It is just a little beginning for you. That's the future. Okay, let's find out a little bit more about that. Okay, there's a 10 of Swords. This is heartbreak, something more evidence of an end. This is one of the cards of transformation. This is a very painful card. Here we see, remember we've been looking at this bird as your heart, the unstruck place in your heart. This bird is definitely feeling. We see the little one has been stabbed 10 times. An egg fell out of the nest and broke. And the mother bird is crying out in grief. And the 10 of Swords is about a very painful ending, loss. It's also about a new day. And I see that little yellow bird there. This is the yellow that we've been seeing, that we're being told to look to. That you're offered a transformation. The kind of winged possibilities of this future. So the future is there, but there is a state of loss, of devastating loss and sorrow ahead. And then there's the yellow bird for you, the little one. The little bird that's sometimes appearing as a red, right? Oh, and I just saw the red bird here in the star, right? This is what you have to release, this idea of wish fulfillment. So there's that little red bird there, who then proceeds into your embrace, who shows up in a different form here on the water buffalo. And now we have this bird is a little golden bird here. So we see a transformation. There's death again. There is a lot of change coming. I'm not just seeing it in your reading, Libra. I'm seeing it in the readings I'm doing in the past couple of days. Some kind of dramatic change ahead. Wow. And did I not say the Five of Cups is another card of transformation? Wow. The World, a Ten of Swords, Death, and here's the Five of Cups, which is, we have the Death's Head Hawk Moth here. We have 3 broken cups. That's the end. That's the ending. That's what we're grieving. There needs to be grieving. There's that moth. This is what the little caterpillar from your embrace has birthed into, this moth. Then there's the little fireflies. That's that golden light that we've been seeing throughout this reading. They're in 2 unbroken cups. There's a new emotional beginning here. Yeah, so this page of Earth is the beginning of a new world, a new planet, new relationship to the planet, a new life, perhaps a new job. This is a new beginning, and so there's going to be an ending. It's going to hurt. You're going to need to grieve. It's going to be scary. There's the owl again. The owl here has caught its prey, this little mouse. And the story of this card is that in our fear, we can create a fortress. This rat or this mouse has been living under these thorns because it feels safer and protected. But the owl, its predator, has still swooped down and captured that rat. And in death is liberty from the confinement of security. Lots of loss here, my friend, my Libra friend. But also a new beginning. This way, I think this explains to me why hidden influence, like this kid looks tired. Are you tired? Yeah, there's hope here. There's this red bird, there's this gold bird, there's this light throughout. There's a transformation that is your transformation, or the world, or both. When you have a Ten of Swords, Death, Five of Cups, and the world, you know, this is a beautiful ending. It's abundant, it's full of beauty, fireflies, light. There's a little bee, honeybee, there's the victory laurels, right? But yeah, I see sorrow, loss, pain on your way to this new page of Earth beginning. And for that, to get through that, you're gonna need that little bird, that little golden light. You're gonna need her. You need to go in and find her inside of you to protect you. The part of you that she just knows who she is. She's totally got integrity. She's completely out in the open. And, you know, she's the lioness here. She's the leader, the hunter. You're gonna need that part of you to go through this. Yeah, and then a part of this transformation, it looks like it's something, and I keep seeing this in the cards too. Sorry, I cut my hair, I've got little itchies. I see young people involved, your inner child, your youthful self here in this, perhaps inspired to join this. So hang on to that inner you, that young you, that if you do inner child work, if you're doing yoga, do some heart work. Gold would suggest the chakra here that is at your core, that is about protection and power. We see the red bird become a golden bird, a moth. Transformation here, my friend. Yeah, be well. Find your fire, find your light, so that you can go through this dark time, this change. The sun will rise again, as will you, if you have that core in you. Okay, sorry it's a tough reading, but I hope it helps.